This episode is sponsored by Scotch Porter. Y'all niggas really need to start taking better care of yourselves. Out here looking dingy and dusty, wondering why y'all look 50 when y'all really 30. Looking like a zombie from The Walking Dead. If you head to scotchporter.com right now and use the code SI10, you get 10% off all products for your skin, hair, and beard. So maybe your beard would finally connect. Head to scotchporter.com right now and use the code SI10.
Go!
Oh.
See, I told you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sophisticated Ignorance. I'm Nieema Vixon.
I'm Steven.
And I guess I'm back this week.
And I'm back too, yay.
Vixen's here, too. Everyone is
Squad
here.
lit.
We're all back.
Mad shenanigans, mad fuckery.
Last week, I needed a mental health day. I was super
I
stressed.
always say, like, we should, as a worker, you should be able to, like, accumulate mental health hours.
I was
days.
so overwhelmed and stressed and trying to study and just, like, I legit probably get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day.
That's not healthy.
It's not, but it's like there's no other way to possibly get it done. Fridays, I get like the most sleep because I take a nap, but then that's about it until probably Sundays. I sleep throughout the afternoon, whatever the case may be, and I wake back up and I study again, and I wake up early Monday and do what I gotta do and go to class, and then it just repeats. So yeah, Sunday I need a mental health day. I was about to have a nervous breakdown. I was like, it's just too much shit going on. Yeah, so I'm back. And I
You were
feel
missed.
good.
You were missed. Your energy was missed.
I guess.
It's the truth. I know you would have had
Okay.
mad shit to say about nigga logic.
Yeah, definitely would have. I got a lot to say about this too, this topic.
Uh-oh. So, let's jump right into it.
All right, let's go.
Mad fucking extra. So last year we did like what, maybe like an episode and a half, almost 2 episodes, like dedicated to like New York City, where we're both from, obviously.
Slang. I know we did the slang.
We did slang, we did fashion, we did the culture of hip hop,
Right.
how it started here, and a whole bunch of other, just talking our shit about our city. And I felt like, it's time to go like full spectrum with it and like talk how New York shitty, how there's cons to New York City as well. And I think like a lot of people that's from out of town don't realize
They love it. They fucking love it.
Yeah, and then it's like the people that actually are from New York City, it's like you don't even know what's really fucking going on here.
At all.
Like you only know about the shit they show you on TV.
Right, and how your neighborhood is now, not how it was before.
Yes. Major key.
And you just walk around like, oh my god, it's so amazing here. Like, they love the struggle of living in New York. They love that shit so much. It makes them feel like they're really doing something with their lives because they're struggling. And they have, like, sandwiches every freaking day. So they get excited about that. Like, tuna sandwiches, everything. I drink orange juice, and, it's because I have to struggle. And, I love New York. I'm never fucking leaving here. I'm like, all right. Go ahead.
And then you end up that homeless person screaming random shit on the bus and train.
No, you ever saw the guy on the one train, and you don't take the one.
Which
so
one?
You don't take the number 1 train, but he sits on there and he draws people,
I
and
think
then
I've
he
seen him
shows it
before.
to them, and they be like, "Oh, I like it." He looked at it, so that's $20.
Oh.
Yeah,
no,
he
I
told
haven't
them it's
seen that one.
$20, and they're like, "But I didn't actually draw him." He was like, "But I just wasted my time seeing." Like, he really has a whole finesse job, and he usually gives to tourists. And they usually give him some
He couldn't
money
catch
because
me.
they feel bad.
I would come up to him and like rip his pad and just kick and sit back down in my seat.
He's kind of feisty.
I'm not the one.
He's kind of feisty.
I don't even have $20 for myself, let alone $20 for you.
To give to somebody else. Exactly.
Someone doesn't support the arts.
We do not support his art. We don't support his.
Some struggling entrepreneurs need to stay struggling entrepreneurs.
Because they need to figure out something else to do. Like, it's not working for you, sir, ma'am. It's
Sir,
not.
ma'am.
Like, what, ma'am, sir, whatever.
So I guess the first topic we'll get into is cost of living.
It's fucking expensive as hell. I'm saving up my money right now with my
listen.
mom and my sister, and we're just going to buy a house out of New York. That's the thing.
Okay.
A nice 3-story house.
I think that's another thing people don't realize is like New York, it doesn't make any fucking sense to buy a house in New York.
Nah, not at all.
It's way too expensive, especially if you're buying a new home. The way they design the new homes now is way smaller in comparison to like all the older.
What it used to be.
Yeah, so you really paying more for nothing.
I had a conversation with my homeboy. He moved from New York. He lives in Texas now. And he was like, I don't understand the point of continuing to rent out apartments in places like that to live in New York and still be struggling when you could just move. He was like, I don't, because I think he saved up his money and put his money, that's how I got the idea. He put his money together and bought a house with his father. And they bought a nice big house out in Texas, and he decked it out. Father has one half, he has the other half, and in the bottom part, like, he has a business in it. I'm like, yo, that's really fucking dope.
That's smart.
That's smart. You put your money together, you save it, and you make some kind of income on the land because you have a business in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's cool. He was like, I feel like more people should think about that. He's like, everybody's rushing.
But it
so,
goes,
you know,
but it goes along with the whole cost of living thing. It's like he was fortunate enough. A lot of
yeah,
people aren't fortunate
yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
Because the cost of living is just rising so high, just in general across the world. Then you have New York being already expensive on top of it.
Right.
It's like the little that you can save, you probably not even supposed to save it. Like that shit might have to go to bills and other shit. So it's even harder for you to even try to leave if you want to leave. Like there's a lot of people that have left New York City and they're leaving with like a couple $100 just to start over. Like there's very few people that I know.
Like,
there's very few people I know that's like leaving and they've had like a substantial amount of money for them to start somewhere else.
I don't know their situations, you know what I'm saying, or their pockets, what, you know, other things they had going on before they left, but I definitely think it's doable to leave New York and have enough money if you're saving right, if you're planning right, you know what I'm saying? Even if it takes you a whole year just to get, you know, stable the way you want to be so you can move, that's fine too. But I just don't recommend, like, up and leaving and go someplace else and you're struggling for a little while, you know? Maybe because I grew up struggling, so that just that scares me. I don't want to do that.
And then some people just do it on the whim. It's like they've reached this point where it's like they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I admire those people, though, who just jump up and just move with, like, $40 in their pocket. I wish I could do that. I admire them a lot.
Yeah, because that's something that you really... It's really a 50-50 shit.
Yeah.
Like, you really putting yourself out there. And you could possibly have a job opportunity, get fired right there. You move into a city where you don't have no sort of support system, and it's a wrap. Like, that's where your story ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cost of living is just way too fucking high. Like, the food, just the regular everyday shit. Like, normal necessities that you need. It's like, it's just too fucking much. It's way too. It's a slap in the face. This is why we treasure, like, the dollar store. Because if you find a dollar store, you fucking lit.
Listen, when our dollar
cash
store
out
first opened where we lived at, me and my sister was too excited. We got a 7-Eleven now, and we're hype about that. And it's just a fucking 7-Eleven. And we were like, the dollar store? We was buying shit. We was buying crayons. We don't even color. We're grown women, but we just felt like, oh, shit, dollar crayons. We about to get lit in the house. We had like snacks. Our pantry is horrible because half that stuff is probably like
expired.
Stale. Yeah, because we just buy it for the moment and nobody eats it again. But it's exciting. Dollar shit, $1.
Yeah, especially when
bruh.
There's still a dollar pizza shop.
I was
around
getting ready to
Times
mention
Square.
I am against dollar pizza. That's one thing.
When times is rough,
I'm against it. Your stomach gonna be rough too.
Nah, I've never had any issue with that spot.
No
it's
dollar
right
pizza.
there on...
Why is it $1 though? This is what I want to understand. Why is it $1?
Being naive is okay.
Nah, I have so many questions why that's $1. Is it expired? Like...
Expired what?
Something has to be old. Something is wrong with it. For
if you really want to talk about it, there's mad places that's probably doing shit that they're not supposed to.
A lot of places are not up to health code.
So there you go.
It's a risk, but I'm not buying $1 pizza.
All right, you rolling the dice.
Nah, at least it's credible. If I get sick going to like a restaurant,
well, I think
versus
now
getting sick at $1 pizza place, they gonna be like, well, you shouldn't eat $1 pizza.
So you don't validate the Zagat rating. Like that don't mean shit to you.
Not really. Not really.
Okay.
Because that means if I read something and I don't like exactly what it says, am I not gonna go there and experience it? I like to look on Yelp too, because I feel like Zagat is more for like the critics and stuff like that, but I want to see like.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Zagat rating in terms. You saying like, okay, why is this shit $1? But if they have a Zagat rating of an A, so that means they're passing all of their health codes.
It's still $1.
All right, to each his own.
It's the idea of it being $1.
But dollar crayons is lit.
I'm not eating a crayon. I'm not ingesting that shit in my body.
All right, you get a pass for that.
You know what? I want to see if you could find, if anybody can find $1 pizza in the Zagat book, let me know.
There's one on 40th and 7th, I believe. That's
47th Avenue.
yeah. That's the one. That's the one I used to go to when I was working.
That's where a lot of homeless people are.
No, all the homeless people are on 8th and 9th.
Okay. So it's the opposite way. Got you.
Yeah,
Okay, I
safe.
see it now. Okay, I had to get the directions together.
Yeah, because
Which way is which
I don't
way?
think we've mentioned that on that New York episode. It's like you could turn around one block and shit is
Oh, for you.
completely different.
No lie, when I was going my first day to class or like second day, I took a different train route. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for a walk. I walked in the wrong direction and it took me 10 minutes just to get to class. So when I figured out the right direction to go, it took me 2 because I took a wrong turn. Literally a wrong turn and I had to go all the way around.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like 7th Ave is mad businesses, mad, office buildings. You go to 8th, it's still the same, but it's mad homeless people.
It is.
Mad.
But then if you walk down like 8th and like 47th, that's when you get like restaurants and stuff at.
Yeah.
So that then it immediately
But that's closer
changes,
to
right
that's
then and
closer
there,
to Columbus Circle area.
Yeah, it starts to change immediately. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. But the next point we'll get into is gentrification. I mean, we had an episode on this already, but I think like you were mentioning earlier, it's like people come over here and they want to embrace this whole culture thing, but then at the same time it's like they want to replace it. So then it's like what culture are you replacing? Like all these black owned.
What are
like,
you really embracing? Cause
yeah,
you're
like
this
all
is
these,
my community too. It's like, but it's ours. It's not just yours.
Yeah, like they start changing shit, and then they trying to, big it up as like, oh, this shit is up and coming and all this other shit, and it's like, yo, we've been here for like forever.
Right, but because you came here, it's like Columbus and shit.
Like Columbus.
It's like Columbus and the rest of them niggas. That's exactly what it is. No time.
Yeah, and it shit just ruins the community because it's like all the black-owned businesses get shut down. Then it goes back to it's kind of hand-in-hand with the cost of living thing because then the cost rises. And if anybody that follows our Instagram page, I posted the video of, what's the dude's name? Jeffrey Almonte. And he did like a viral video talking about, when white people came over and try to, gentrify the chopped cheese sandwich. And he went on this, it's a beautiful video.
Someone told me that the chopped cheese in Williamsburg is like $8. $8 to $10.
$8 to $10?
They went to one place, it was like very expensive.
I could see that happening,
but
and that's a slap in the face.
They put a twist on it though. They added like tomatoes, like mad craziness on top of it, like a special kind of bread. Yeah,
they ruin everything. They fucking ruin everything.
But then I wonder if that's how they feel when we go into like their neighborhoods.
But what do we do?
We don't. You're right. We don't.
We don't do shit. We actually take in what's going on and try to educate ourselves into the other shit.
And they don't.
They don't. They'll take it and then it's like, oh, that's cool, but what if? Like, nah, nigga, I don't need your what ifs. You can hold that thought.
Like, I went out last night or whatever the case may be, and we were the only black group at the restaurant, the little lounge or whatever the case may be. So at first, a lady walked by and she was like, oh my god, your table's like so trendy. You guys are like just sitting there like being cute. And I just looked at her and they were like, Nieema, we need you to get aggressive. I was like, no, we're gonna be nice for a little while. And she walked back again and she was just like, she was with a guy and she was like, this is the table I was telling you about. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? And I was like, nope. We're gonna have a good night tonight. I don't go out much anymore, so we're gonna have fun. And then this lady was whispering to like a guy she was with, like whispering to him about us, whatever. And he kept turning around looking. And then the rest of his guy friends came and they kept whispering and like looking at us. So I'm like, who do you like? Do you like one of the women or one of the boys sitting here?
Ooh.
Which one? Because you keep turning around.
Okay.
So then by the end of the night, they changed the music. It was a female DJ. She changed the music. I guess her bodyguard told her like, hey, you got people in here. They don't want to hear 80s band all night. They changed it. We was having fun. And I told my homegirl, I was like, if they put on Nuck If You Buck, I'm wilding in here. Like, I'm running across to that new Trump supporter straight from the Hamptons table. And I'm wilding because they're getting on my nerve. It was like a whole table. They looked like Trump supporters straight from the Hamptons. It just looked like something out of Laguna Beach. Looked like something out of Laguna Beach, like the hills.
Dawson's Creek.
Then by the end of the night, I was like, you know what? Since they keep staring, we weren't even lit. And I was like, the sad part, I was like, we're going to act the fuck up. Everybody put your Snapchat on. We wildin'. And we just started bugging out. Then we left. This is how you party, bitch. And we left. This is what you wanted. It was fun, though. It was fun just Trying to enjoy.
Way to show them the culture.
I wanted to flip the table if nothing but what came on, but I was against that. So I just said, put out your Snapchat, make a video.
Let's go to commercial break.
To all of our day ones, loyal fans and listeners, here's a chance to really show your support. Head to patreon.com/sophisticatedignorance and earn rewards from us, ranging from a shout out on air to exclusive content or becoming a guest on the show. We appreciate all your support.
Well, we're back talking about New York Shitty. All the shit that, people don't realize about the city.
Speaking of shit, New York is kind of dirty.
Oh, that's the next topic. The lack of cleanliness. What a way to segue that one. Yeah, that shit is filthy everywhere.
It's legit. I always talk about the east side of Harlem between like 123rd.
Just the east side in general, for the most part.
Like 130th and like Lexington and 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I walk over there and I start itching. Like I legit break out in hives. Me and my sister all the time. We break out in hives.
Something's in the air.
It's just nasty. The air changes. It get like real like
Thick
cigarette ashes. Just like it's just in the air. Like just a whole bunch of cigarette ashes just like
death
blown around in the air and turmoil, sadness, just stain, just all that stuff. Yeah, it's
trials
disgusting.
and tribulations in the air.
And when we used to walk over there, we used to always say that sometimes don't wear sandals because by the time we get back home, our feet is just dirty, disgusting. And then now with all the different businesses and the construction going on, it's like an increase of just rats and mice just running around, like walking on the block with you, like, hey, what's up, son? Where you going tonight?
Oh yeah, because I originally, for most of my life, I was living in East Flatbush with my parents. When I moved out, I moved to Bed-Stuy, and I ain't never seen no rats like that on a consistent basis until I moved to fucking Bed-Stuy. Like the shit is just different. Because like sometimes if I'm coming home late, I don't feel like waiting for the bus or whatever.
So you walk?
So I'll walk. And before, I would just, have my headphones on, no care in the world. Now, I gotta listen to make sure there's nothing creeping around, because them niggas is bigger than me.
They're huge. I was walking. I work downtown Brooklyn. And I was walking down Livingston. It was a crack in the floor. Mm-hmm. So something was popping. Mind you, it's like 4 p.m. Earlier than that. Because I was early.
Is bold
it
too.
was like 1:32.
Mad
and
bold.
I saw something out of the freaking concrete. I'm like, what is that? It was a whole rat looking at me like, what you doing? Where you going? And as I got closer, he jumped back down the hole.
The rat was like,
you're. I was like, what the fuck? Like, pick me up something when you go up the block. Like, what?
You remember the fucking rat pizza going down the fucking train steps with the pizza slice in his mouth?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, them niggas is bold now.
Wow,
Speaking of the fucking subway, like, from what I've been told, like, the subway is low-key giving people cancer.
What? I don't have time.
Because the shit is over 100 years old. It's built on old technology.
That's why they trying to clean it up so much.
And they're not even cleaning. They're not cleaning it up.
Allegedly.
Because until somebody can actually prove
it.
Yeah, like all that dirt and gases and everything is building up. That shit is slowly like killing you. Like it was actually an MTA employee that told me that shit. Because he said, next time you take the train, get out of the train and blow your nose and see how much dirt comes out your nose.
Dang. Well, that just made me sad.
Well, Uber everywhere. Well, there's no avoiding that either with all the gas from the cars.
It really isn't avoiding taking an Uber because the train be so messed up. A lot of times you get on a train, you're halfway, you gotta jump off and catch an Uber or a cab the rest of the way. Then sometimes it's hard to catch a regular cab, so you have no choice but to call Uber.
And then
anyway.
Even if you're not catching the dirt from the train station, you're catching the dirt in the train itself. Right. Because I had an ex that worked for the MTA, and randomly I asked her a question. I was like, "Yo, do they actually clean like any of the trains or whatever?" She's like, "No, they just throw water on it. Mm-hmm. There's no soap. There's no solution that they put on. It's literally just water, and then you just let it dry out."
Yep.
So all them homeless people that be chilling and having God knows what sort of diseases, or people are just dirty in general, not covering their mouth when they sneeze, or just wiping their hands onto anything, like all those germs is everywhere.
That's why I try not to touch my eyes or anything when I'm on a train. Or outside in general. I try not to.
Yeah.
And the train itself is just fucking trash. Like,
Yes.
I had to go. I'm like, I'm trying to save it for vacation. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna catch the train more. I live at a local stop. No trains by me. I gotta go uptown to come back downtown to go express halfway, then go local. I was like, so I should just call Uber.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like,
There's been
all
plenty of
that?
times we started this show late because one of us has been late because
Yeah,
of the
the
fucking
train.
MTA.
I'm rushing in an Uber to get here.
Like,
It's just-
normally it takes me like 2 trains just to get here, but now I have to take a whole different route because now the fucking trains that would take me into the city are out of service until summer of God knows when. When Jesus comes back, that's when the train is running. Basically,
supposed to be back today, but I don't know.
is a dub. Is
Slow
a dub.
for that, I guess.
Yeah,
Slow for
shit
that, I
is
guess.
shit is always out of service, or there's always a sick passenger. That's another thing.
They be
You
lying.
dumb
nah.
motherfuckers.
They be lying. Y'all be
Borderline.
lying about train traffic. Y'all be lying about somebody being sick. Y'all be lying about the dispatcher. Y'all niggas just be fucking lying. Because how y'all telling me we have a train delay when I waited 15 minutes for this one? So how there's another train in front of me? Like, y'all just be dragging it. Like, y'all be fucking lying, bro.
They're dragging it literally.
Literally. Whole train cutting off, stuck in the fucking tunnel for 45 minutes because the train cut off. So we gotta charge it. I ain't know this shit ran no batteries. What do you mean we gotta
Wait.
charge the train back up?
That's what they said.
Yes. Yes, that's what they said. And I was like, okay.
The chain probably has one of them Apple chargers.
And the shit is tangled.
That made me think about that. I don't know if he was homeless. That old guy that got stuck. Well, he wasn't stuck. He clearly knew what he was doing.
The one who
Like,
was dancing?
The dancer one that was underneath the train, trying to light his cigarette, having a grand old time.
Just wildin'. That's the one who put his arm up?
Yeah,
Oh my
waving
gosh.
at everybody.
Wow, that's how the rat did.
the rat transformed.
He was like, hey, you going up the block? Oh,
Yo, cat, give me a bum dum.
You don't even sell those shit still?
I don't think they do.
Oh my god. Oh,
I don't think they
man.
do.
Miss my childhood.
This jumps into the next point we'll have is fucking New Yorkers in general.
We're
We
just
always
rude.
say
We just,
people are trash, but
we're rude.
New Yorkers are super
New Yorkers
trash.
are different, especially
trash.
when we're commuting anywhere, even if we're not in a rush.
Drake may be from
Instinctively,
Drake is from Canada and he caught up. He's made the whole 0 to 100 thing trendy, but we was on that shit way before Drake was. Niggas would get lit in no time. No time.
Like,
About the
what?
littlest thing. I definitely seen a couple niggas knocked out over their Jordans getting stepped on.
It was last week. I don't know where I was going. I can't remember what day it was either. I'm on a train and this guy just spazzed out on this lady. I don't know if she accidentally bumped him getting on the train or whatever the case may be. But I had my headphones on. But I know he yelled at her to the point everybody looked like, oh shit. And she looked like embarrassed. She looked, And she came and she stood next to me. So I think I bumped her or something happened. No, somebody was walking. I said, man, watch out, he's coming. She said, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And she moved out the way. But it was kind of like, sir, first of all, move your big ass from the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Or step off so everybody could get on. Like, why you getting mad because she accidentally bumped you? She's trying to get on the train and you're in the way. Like, they just be doing the most.
Yeah, people.
I be ready, though.
Of course, because you're a New Yorker.
I mean, and I feel like because I'm a female, so a lot of times men make. I always say that men make me uncomfortable on the train, especially at night. Like this weird dude was all the way on the other side of the train. He kept staring at me, walked all the way to the other end. So I pulled out my mace and I showed it to him. I held it in my hand like we finna get this whole cart lit. If you try me, like try me. And he just stood there and he got the next stop. Good day, sir.
Yeah, New York's I've definitely seen a few outbursts that came out of nowhere. One time I remember it was a homeless lady that was on the train and she was just yelling at the top of her lungs about Jesus or whatever. Some guy, white guy, he just gets up and he just goes off. Listen, we all just came from school and work.
No.
You need to shut the fuck up. I had fucking enough. I think he got a standing ovation when he was done. Like, he had enough.
Over it.
He was over it. And then another time,
tired.
I was at work. This was years ago in the city. So I think it was like this old black lady. I think she like misplaced something inside of the job. So she was like looking for it. So I don't know if this white lady said something foul to her or whatever. But this white guy was like near them.
Yeah.
So whatever the white lady says to the old black woman, the white guy wasn't having it. He was like, look, all she's looking for is her glasses. Like, I don't know why you treating her like that. I hope when you get outside, you get hit by a fucking bus.
No.
I was like, Tommy, you talk your shit. You talk your shit right now.
A fucking bus.
Yes. When I say everybody in the building stopped, all eyes was fixed on Tommy.
Yo.
He had enough.
You over it. Because you be so fucking
Yeah, because people are just
tired.
fucking
It's
rude, yo. Like, for no reason. Like, people be doing way too much for no reason
It's
at
been
all.
nice out on the Showtime niggas is back.
Oh,
and
boy.
usually I can avoid, like, being in the area when they start dancing. This time I was sitting down. And I was like, this nigga kicked me. I don't even know what I'm about to
I think
do.
a New Yorker is waiting.
Bro.
I think a New Yorker is waiting for one of them Showtime niggas to hit them, so they
By
can record it,
accident,
and then it'll go viral.
Because it's
When
just
Showtime
like
goes wrong.
doing mad backflips and somersaults and shit. And I'm just like, yo, this nigga kicked me with his big ass, dusty ass Jordan.
Show's over.
Show's over.
I don't even know what's gonna happen.
Encore.
I'm gonna be so enraged and so tight. I'm just gonna feel like, oh, so you think I'm pussy? And I don't know. And I'm just gonna fucking spaz. Like, I be so scared. Like, please just move. Come on.
Yeah, and I think that just goes into like how, you know, it's like a dog eat dog world when it comes to like being in New York. So it's like we always on edge. We
Always.
on edge in
All the
every
time.
we always on edge in every environment that we're in. So it's like when you're around a bunch of people, especially strangers, it's like at any moment you're just a fucking ticking time bomb. Like you just ready to just fucking snap.
First of all, my classmate carries a knife with him. He was like, because that's how crazy it is on the train. He has to go all the way back to the Bronx. And he's
I'm sorry for him.
And he's not originally from New York
Oh.
either. So.
And that's
yeah.
another thing, like, New Yorkers will definitely pick. They could tell when you're not from that borough, and they could tell when you're not from New York.
Mm-hmm.
So your head gotta be on a swivel at all times.
And he's from the South, so me and him got a lot in common when it comes to, like, certain demeanors and certain lingo. And so the shit be funny. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah. I bought him some mace the other day, too. Like, here's some mace to go with your knife, because if you get caught with that fucking knife, at least it won't be as bad as the mace. Because he's crazy.
Yeah. It goes from, you know, self-defense charge to,
Yeah.
you know.
Manslaughter, maybe. Cause like,
That's
what the hell?
I don't know.
Where you get that knife from? But yeah. That's
Yeah,
that.
New Yorkers we're just a lot.
We're nervous. We're nervous individuals. I'll say that.
Yeah, because it's almost like this fucking, like, crab mentality. Like, at any given moment, anybody is probably plotting on you, or you never know when some shit could go wrong.
Never, ever.
And then that one time, you get caught slipping, and then you tell the story to your peoples, they was like, yo, you know better. Like,
I
you
just
know.
thought about a couple of years ago when me and my sister used to visit my cousin in Brownsville. Once we get to, like, Utica, because when you get to Utica, the train go outside. My sister be like, all right, take your trainer, take your earrings, put it in your bag, put your phone away, text them, let them know we on our way. We just gonna walk mad fast. Literally, that's how it is. Because it's when we go up the train at, it's no lights over there, really. It's, like, dark. So sometimes we can't get nobody to pick us up. We just like, it's all right, we just gonna power walk. We're getting off the train right now. And
This is
outside.
why we get tight at tourists when they don't know how to fucking get out the way on the sidewalks, because every New Yorker is power walking. It could be noon.
Yeah, we just walking fast.
Sun is shining.
Going
you got to
nowhere.
power walk because you never know.
I find myself doing that a lot on my days off. Like, I'm going to go for a walk. I did all my errands in 20 minutes and I'm tight. Like, damn, I ain't even enjoy the weather.
Yep.
Gotta slow down sometimes, man.
So, here's our next commercial break.
All right, we'll be back.
Gotham Boutique, owned by sisters Nieema Simone and Tiara Monet, is your go-to for all of your beauty needs, offering services in eyelash extensions, microblading, skincare, permanent makeup, and one-on-one classes, and of course, makeovers. Use promo code GBSI to receive 15% off your service.
All right, guys, we're back. And I was just saying, everything in New York is doo-doo.
Facts. With two Tims on.
Doo-doo. Stop yelling that shit mad loud for no reason.
This is why you got me on high alert. They can start yelling random shit out for no reason. You start thinking shit's about to pop off.
Right.
Like, so the next topic is the fucking job market.
Doo-doo. That's doo-doo too.
If there's two things that will stress you out more than anything else being a New Yorker, it's
I'm really
trying to find a place
to
to live and trying to find a fucking job.
that's close to the place that you live.
Not even close to the place that you live, or even pays you enough for you to afford the place that you live. Like you just getting fucked all around. It's an orgy and you're not having no fun.
Like I have a really nice apartment, but I don't have any clothes. I don't have any shoes, or I have no food. But my apartment is really nice. That's usually what it is.
Yep. Or my apartment is fucking a cubicle.
Right.
And I'm doing everything all in the same spot.
Literally.
Like I'm cooking while I'm on bed, while I'm in my bed.
Nigga got the jailhouse suite.
And the TV's on the ceiling, so I'm not missing my programming.
The jailhouse. That's the jailhouse suite right
You roll
there.
over to take a shit.
That is disgusting.
Word.
You gotta
If I
not
turn
even.
over, I'm right in the bathroom.
Y'all so fucking stupid. That's a bedpan, bro.
I remember years ago, I think it was like on one of these blog sites or whatever. It was this girl, and I think she was paying like $1,200 for like this apartment that was like the smallest. What is it? Cubic feet or square feet? One of those two. Square feet. Like she had like the smallest apartment in New York City, and it was literally probably the size of this studio, maybe a little bit longer. And there was no alternate rooms. Like her bed was in the corner.
She had
the stove was in the front by the door.
Did she have the flip down bed? The one that be in the wall, you can flip it down.
I think so. Yeah, like she had a flip down everything. It was a flip down bed. It was a flip down iron board. It was a flip down closet. Like everything was on the wall. The only thing that was on the floor was the rug.
That's ridiculous.
And she was paying like $1,200 a month.
She wildin'.
Well, she's stupid.
No, niggas want to live in New York so bad. So
yeah,
bad.
it goes with the whole job market thing. It's like, yo, first it's hard to find a job. Like the whole, you gotta have all these degrees, but then if you have these degrees, you're overqualified or you don't have enough experience. Then we're not even gonna talk about being a person of color when it comes to that shit. That's a fucking slap to the face in
That's
itself.
why I tell people you need to have a skill as well, so you can make money on the side. Like you need some. I feel like in this day and age, you need an extra skill.
It's reached the point where people are having multiple jobs in order to not even live, just to survive.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then they'll just, they just waste your fucking time. A lot of them, like I definitely been to an interview and felt as though they wasn't even giving me the proper just due to even interview me. It was like more of a, we just hitting the, like we just equal opportunity program. Let's just interview.
Bring you in.
Let's just bring you in and just say we brought in somebody, a person of color, but we ain't have no interest of actually giving you the job.
Even, like I said, you need a skill. Even having multiple skills and being experienced in different things when you go to a job. Sometimes they don't want to have them because they know that means they got to pay you more money.
Yeah. Or they'll notice that you have, that's why I always say playing dumb is smart. They'll notice that you have more knowledge than what you really require, and then they start slowly pushing on tasks to you. But then they won't want to give you the money.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, you signed this contract for X amount. Like, we don't really negotiate wages or things of that nature.
People always ask me, why you didn't become a manager? Why you not a manager? Because I got shit to do.
Big facts.
Okay, I like my 4 days,
Big
sometimes
facts.
3 days. You know what I'm saying? I like my money, and I like my time to myself.
Yeah. I don't know how it is in other states, but I know that's a big thing. It's like a lot of these corporations, they try to sell you this pipe dream of like, wanting to move up in the world, wanting to move up in their company or whatever, but then they want to tack on all these responsibilities and take you even more away from like your personal time. And they want to make you feel like you're obligated to be there. It's like, nigga, fuck you. Like,
One of the newer girls in the shop, she feels like that, and I feel so bad for her. I was like, honey, she's young, she's 21. I'm like, unfortunately, any job you get, you're not going to be able to do exactly what you want to do. You have responsibilities. I said, but then on top of that, you're working a salon base. It's a lot of hours, a lot of long hours. So either you want to fuck with it or you don't.
Yeah,
but
that's why you got to be smart.
Yeah. She was like, oh, but Nieema, like you work these hours. I've been here for 3 years.
Yeah, so it's like, with that whole thing, it's like, you got to be smart and know, like, okay, even if I get this job, it's like, what do I want out of it? Do I want to at least work to the point where I could, move up a little bit, but still not have all the responsibility on me so that way I can make some more money? Or is it like, I know this is going to be temporary and I'm going to do other shit on the side so that way I'm setting myself up for a better future? So you got to be smart with it when it comes to like the job market.
Yeah, take it for exactly what it is.
Yeah, a job.
That's it. Take
that's,
it for exactly what it
that's
is.
for people that aren't aware or not familiar with terminology, just in general, or how the world works. These corporations will make you really think like this is a career when it really isn't. The same way they could hire you that fast, the same way they'll building up a lot of paperwork to fucking get rid of you in mere seconds. So it's like, it's a fucking job. Unless they paying you big time bucks, and I'm talking big time, then it's not worth being so fucking invested in it. Yeah. Because when you fucking get laid off, or you get fired, or you even move on to something else, you realize like, yo, I spent all this blood, sweat, and tears, and what did I really get out of it?
Yeah, like they really didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So, I don't know. People just gotta be better. I mean, we briefly touched on the housing market. And yeah, like shit is just, it's really crazy. Like really even, crazy. Williamsburg, you're paying like 2 bands for a studio. Crown Heights is 2 bands for a studio.
I was talking to my client or whatever, and she was talking about like the lottery and stuff. And
the lottery. I've been in a lottery. I think I've been in the lottery longer than I've been alive. And I ain't getting out one call back.
And I always just, and she was telling me like, oh, you know, I do the lottery, I do this and I do that. I'm like, sis, if you make, even if for you, you feel like your income is low and you qualify for it, they could still look at you and be like, no, you still make too much money.
It's literally a lottery. Like, they don't care about your, like, they care about your numbers or whatever
but
you
they
fill
really
out.
Don't.
But it's literally like they just pick a random name, a random
and it's
shit.
not even necessarily affordable living, because I know people who's paying at least a rack more living in the projects.
Yeah.
Because they doing that because they want to raise the rent, get people out of there so they can knock it down. I would love to see them do that one day. It's a lot of people y'all gonna have to find homes for. It's gonna be a lot of homeless people, but
yeah,
that's the move that they on.
Yeah, and that doesn't even include like, yeah, you paying, you know, somewhat affordable rent with the lottery, but you still have utilities.
Yeah.
You still have, you know, water, electricity, gas to pay for. Then, you know, we're dealing in the age where you're paying for other shit that, you know, people didn't pay for back in the day. So you gotta get your Netflix, gotta get your Hulu, your cell phone bill. Other shit, man. We didn't even touch on with the MCA. We didn't even touch on how fucking expensive that shit is.
That's crazy because I never buy like a weekly Metro card, and I need to start doing that because I'm always running around. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna put $3 here, $5 here, and I'm like,
that shit builds up quick.
A lot of fucking money.
Yeah, you probably that shit fucking builds up quick.
And I really don't think about it because it's cash and it's like tips. So it's like, okay, whatever. And I thought about the other day, like, bitch.
Yeah, you probably would have sit down and crunch some numbers.
Do the numbers. I was like, if you did some, you know, monthly or something and relax.
Yeah, the housing market is disrespectful. Like we mentioned, like you're paying mad fucking money for a place that's probably not accessible in terms of like public transit. Right. Then it's probably not as big as a space as you like, so you can't really outfit it the way you want. Then it's probably in a neighborhood you don't even really want to live in.
Right.
I mean, gentrification is still going on, but it hasn't touched all the areas.
I'm kind of like okay with gentrification now.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's pros and cons with everything.
Yeah.
So it's really nothing you can. Even if you wanted to stop it, it's nothing that you can't.
You gotta
accept
stop
it.
You just do what you want.
Yeah, you just gotta. And that's the thing is like I see a lot of these dudes that just be into dumb shit and doing stupid shit, and it's like, yo, I know you young and you getting involved in dumb shit, but it's like at the same time, be aware of your surroundings. Like shit is changing, and you having conversations like, oh yeah, like these new spots is up and whatnot. But it's like, okay, you know, eventually they're gonna try to figure a way to get rid of you, right? Now you really homeless.
You wanted to be in the street. Now
surprise, motherfucker. So yeah, like shit is changing, and people gotta be aware of that shit. So
I just had
what?
A brain fart. My whole brain just said bloop. Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So the next point we'll touch on is the dating scene. I think dating is just trash in general, everywhere. But I think New York
is good for people who.
But I think for New Yorkers,
who come to New York.
Yeah, it works for them because they're dealing with somebody. They're probably dealing with somebody that's here, that's originally a New Yorker. So it's a whole different culture and lifestyle that they're about to partake in.
Yeah, and they enjoy it.
Yeah, so it's new and fresh. But I think for the New Yorkers themselves, trying to date a fellow New Yorker, it's like you ever see? It's like that that meme of Spider-Man, the two Spider-Mans pointed at each other. So that's how dating is in that aspect. It's like You know, it's like,
Tissue.
I don't know. It's like, I guess we're like battling each other. It's like we got beef with each other and there was no reason to have beef. Like, why are you mad at me? We the same person.
Everybody's so busy. I think that is.
Yeah,
we're fake busy. I'm gonna say fake busy because everybody like to say if you have time.
And that's a New Yorker thing. That's a New Yorker thing.
When I think about my schedule, I legit have no time sometimes.
Yeah, that's like I was dating somebody late last year, and I realized like I'm not ready for that right now, because I found myself like I work 5 days a week. When I come home, I'm chilling, doing whatever I gotta do, and then on the weekend, like I do my freelance or I'm recording my shows. And then it's like, now I got to cut in this time to be with another person. And it's like, yo, I had all this other shit that I had to do. When I want to unwind, I just want to unwind. And relationships take work. And I think sometimes people don't realize that, especially as New Yorkers. So they just feel like it's just too much of a burden on their hands.
Wow, that's deep. No, I just ain't got no time and I be sleepy. So if our date could be taking a nap, I'm with that shit, man. I'm sleepy.
Yeah, but he's a creep, so he definitely rubbing his dick on your butt while you're asleep.
Why? Oh my goodness.
She thought she was gonna get a good rest. Surprised.
But yeah, especially I always tell people Sundays we could do stuff, but like later on Sunday or
that's the thing. It's like we're so
Monday
fake
night,
busy. It's
Monday
like you
night.
really gotta schedule time to be
right.
with somebody.
I feel like, but Monday night we could go out unless you want to go out like
and
Monday
then
morning
God
for
forbid
breakfast. I'm like, but I'm gonna be real tired, so I don't really want to wake up that early to.
And then God forbid like something happens, and then that switches up your whole schedule,
Right.
and then it's like you're a priority, but you're not a priority at the same time. So it's like it's nothing offensive to you, but it's like I gotta get this money,
Right.
so you're gonna have to take this dub, but we could reschedule.
Listen,
It might be like 2 weeks, but we can reschedule.
Like I was supposed to go out someplace else last night, and I was like, "This shit is local, so I'm going with something local. I'm not gonna make it." Tonight.
That's another thing. Like with the whole MTA is trash. Uber is expensive to a certain extent. Like a lot of people that's New Yorkers, they have to date people that's within their vicinity. I mean, you don't. But that's different for you because you're a woman, so the men are traveling to you regardless, or they have access to a car. But a lot of people, it's like, yo, I'm not with the commute and shit. Like, if you're not in the same borough, like, it's a dub. It's a dub.
I wish it wasn't, cause y'all can have so much fun. Like different neighborhoods, you show them around your neighborhood, they'll show you around their neighborhood. Y'all can meet halfway and do fun stuff. Like, it's so many different creative things to do and like have fun. Like I'm a very silly person, so anything that I could just like be silly and have fun and just act fucking stupid like a child. Wouldn't
Disney movies together.
Yeah.
Then you take your nap and then he rubs his dick on your butt.
that sounds so nasty.
That's what he was plotting for.
That is so nasty.
All right. like it hasn't been done before to you. Okay.
Man, shut up. Steve.
Is that the truth?
Leave me alone.
But what else? Because I remember it was like something I read, like 9 reasons as to why New Yorkers struggle dating. But yeah, it's like with the hustle and bustle of the city, it's like you always feel like you're always trying to work towards something better as well. It's like, oh, I'm trying to work towards getting a better apartment. I'm working towards a better better job. So then when it comes to people, it's like, you cool, but I might do better than you.
That's why a lot of my past relationships and like people I would date went wrong because like one, I didn't have time and they felt like I was just being an asshole and I didn't want to make time.
You were.
Or it's no, I didn't have it.
Oh, you heard that? Sorry.
Shut up, dummy. Doodle head. So a lot of times it just didn't work based off of that. Or I was always doing something in work, and so like I said before, they just wasn't feeling it. They like a woman who's about her business, but they don't like a woman who's about her business.
Well, you're not even that's nigga logic for you.
Well, yeah.
Just rears its ugly head. What's next? Well, let's go to commercial break.
Another one?
Stop it.
Studio, based out of Sweden, is revolutionizing the way people look at headphones. My favorite is the Trade Design. Designed for the active lifestyle, the Trade is sweatproof with exceptional mic clarity and Siri voice control. Each set comes equipped with a leather case for safe storage in your bag, 3 air wing tips for a custom and comfortable fit, as well as up to 9 hours of battery life. With full sound transparency, you can listen to your favorite tunes without losing touch of your surroundings. We've teamed up with Studio to offer you a great deal. Use discount code IGNORANCE to receive 15% off.
You really gonna sneeze on air?
I was blowing my nose. Okay, guys, we're back.
Okay.
So the next thing.
Music.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to get deep dive into it, but yeah, the music scene is not what it used to be. Like,
I was just thinking about it, like.
Cause if you like, we referenced back on the New York episodes, like I remember the Rockefeller era, I remember the Dipset era, the G-Unit era,
yeah.
the Fat Joe records, the Ja Rule records, and now,
Squad.
yeah, it's like now we don't dominate that shit, and I don't know if it has a direct impact on us, but the energy of the city was definitely different.
Yeah, it was.
The energy of the city was definitely different when those dudes was running around with their records, and you couldn't. I mean, we will have like a one-off Bodak Yellow or Young M.A.'s Ooh, but besides that, we don't have those extended runs that we used to have. So the energy of the city is definitely different, and that speaks to the whole culture thing. It's like people coming over here and they want to quote unquote embrace this culture, and like the culture is low key just slipping away. Like it's really become quite bland and Wonder Bread, as they like to say.
Mm.
But it definitely plays a factor in the whole vibe of the city.
It does. Like I'm really like I remember everybody walking around with their Rockaway outfits on, or you got the 50 Cent bulletproof shirts everybody used to wear.
Yeah,
and now their white beaters.
And now you got all this influence from other places. Like that's the shit that runs through now. Like I remember the Chief Keef era, and now all these niggas got dreads, or how. When Jeezy was first coming up, everybody had a fucking snowman t-shirt.
You couldn't wear them shits to school, though.
Yeah, he was getting kicked out. But it's like, I mean, they were cool, but then at the same time, it's like, it's not New York.
Right. Right. I don't know. What is the inspo now in New York?
We don't have none. Everything is outside. Everything is run by Atlanta. Niggas is out here dressed like the Migos. Or dressed like Future with their Chelsea boots, but it's not really Chelsea boots. And wearing fucking top hats like Pharrell. Looking like the fucking is his name Mr. Peanut?
No, but I just popped in my head too. The whole image just popped right in my head. Oh my gosh.
Fucking fools.
And then I was watching episode 11 Hip Hop, and Jacquay, he had that hat on, and I think Safari made a joke like, you probably got the fucking dog under your hat, because this girl. I was like, what?
Oh, boy. Shit is just slowly slipping away. But,
badass kids.
Yes. Fucking badass New York City youth. Like, I remember we was wild, but we still had a level of respect. Like, these niggas out here just... They busting shots at everybody.
They don't care.
They don't respect their peers. They don't respect their elders.
They square up with everybody for no reason.
And they really don't give a fuck about nothing.
And I'm short and I'm little and I look young, so they always think I'm their age.
I've heard that as well. Like a lot of these young niggas be trying to holler at grown ass women. Mm-hmm. Like just because you got tats, like you got.
And how you even get them? Who did it? In the fucking basement. Somebody apartment.
There you have it. If probably right next to Shorty getting the ass shots. But yeah, New York City youth is trash, yo. They got no respect. They just out here just reckless. Like we've mentioned this before. Like the girls out here with fucking $2,000 bags. They got their hair and nails done. It's like, yo, what are you about?
And they still don't know how to change their panties, and they still smell like pee.
Wow. And there we have it. Walking around here smelling like straight urine.
Smell like pee because they don't know how to wipe their pussy right. So wow, this is wild. Prom season coming up, so
you gotta be nice.
Yeah.
I think it's too late.
Prom season.
Well, the ones that probably would have got offended and probably smell like pee ain't had the money for it anyway. So there's that.
They gonna come in.
Boom, boom.
They don't come in trying to pay with quarters. I'm not in the mood this year, bro.
Cash App only.
I'm not in the mood. Nah, they not my personal clients. They go to the shop. I ain't do that type of time. Not at all. Or they don't know how to tip. That's another thing I don't like about little girls. Don't come to my salon if your mother didn't teach you how to tip. But yeah, that's it.
What else we got here? The stupid New York City rules and laws.
We have them. We got that shit.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody just make it up as they go along.
We don't obey them shits.
We
That's
don't.
what
I feel like they just make it up as they go along.
Yeah, they always come up with some. What's the new shit that they trying to have? Like the fucking that toll that they're trying to have in the city, so that if you drive from uptown to
right, I heard about that. Like what?
Uptown to downtown, you gotta pay a toll, and downtown to uptown, and even just getting into the city, it's like, come on, fam.
You're doing too much.
Like, come on, fam. Like, come on.
Like, what do you need all this money for? To pay for the other shit?
That's
that
still
you
broke.
Still ain't finished?
that still
like,
ain't. That still ain't fixed. Like,
what?
Come on. And I think we have an image here. I'll probably post this on the show page, but it's like the Easy Pass. Do they have Easy Passes outside of New York?
I would assume so. People have to travel back and forth. Some people come into the city, so I would assume you have.
No, I mean like in other states, do they have the Easy Pass? I don't know.
Probably.
But the Easy Pass is like, well, they got rid of the tolls where you physically pay for a toll. Now you just have
completely go now.
Yeah, so now you just have this stupid card that's connected to like your card or a bank account or whatever, and you just pay that way. But basically, the toll is $15. If you don't pay the Easy Pass and you just drive through, it's your first offense. Like, you're supposed to just mail in your payment. But if you're a repeat offender, your license gets suspended, and your license gets suspended up until you actually pay off the total.
Okay, so if the cash tolls don't exist anymore, do they? Do we have some left?
I don't think there's any more left.
I
think everybody has to have Easy Pass.
So, sometimes the Easy Pass be like on your windshield. So does it bill your Easy Pass?
Yeah, I think
I'm trying to see, like, how would you even be able to go through?
I think it has some sort of scanner that it just scans it from there.
So if you got no money on it, just like, oh, this nigga got no money, and they just like...
Well, they probably just send you a bill.
Okay.
Yeah, but then if you constantly keep going through tolls
then
and you ain't paying, then that's a problem.
Gotcha.
But then, you got your parking meters. That's $3.50. But if you don't pay, it's a fucking $65 fine. Then if you're a repeat offender and not paying your meter,
they take your shit.
Yeah, you just take your whole fucking automobile.
I enjoy working downtown Brooklyn because I get to watch their meter maids get people tickets. Especially when they in a salon. They be like, Nieema, let me know when it's 4 o'clock. First of all, I be all over the place half the time. I'm not going to remember to tell you that. And I'm working. So I just start singing, ticket time, it's ticket time, and everybody just jump up and start running out. Shit is hilarious.
Oh, boy. I've definitely seen a couple people that were... And that's another thing about New Yorkers. Niggas refuse to fucking pay the meter. Like, in front of my job, the meter is a fucking quarter.
Yeah, it is a quarter. Yeah, by me, too. But the crazy part is a lot of my clients that come to the shop, even outside the shop when I see them, they are correctional officers or police officers and teachers. They get a plaque. And they don't even respect the plaque because allegedly, so they can still get a ticket unless somebody's like, all right, fuck it, like, I'm not going to give you, like, a ticket or whatever. And a lot of times the people in the neighborhood complain, like, oh, they taking about parking spaces, they doing this and they doing that. So now your plaque or whatever they put in the window isn't respected no more. So they still have to pay. And I think that's dumb.
I don't know.
So stupid. That's like a new rule they just made up.
Everything's fucking dumb. And then lastly, another stupid. The subway fare is
arrested.
The subway fare is $2.75. If you do not pay the subway fare, which has happened to me before, you get $100 fine.
You got a fine?
Yeah, because one time I ain't have no cash on me and I was late for work.
So
my cousin was home from school. I think he was off, so I took his Metro card to go to work. And fucking undercover cop pulled me over, and he was like, gave me a summons for that shit. I think it was like 110, 115. I was heated.
Nah, you had to do like how we used to do. Take 2 regular Metro cards, right? Put it together. Have the little school Metro card in the middle. So the little black piece of the school Metro card is at the bottom. You swipe your card and shit go through.
Oh, you're definitely a criminal.
Finesse. Tripping and finesse.
But yeah, like if you don't pay it, it's $100 fine. And if you're a repeat offender, you would definitely get arrested.
Right.
And I've definitely seen like undercover cops like hiding right behind the fucking toll booth, just waiting for somebody to try to hop the fucking turnstile. Stop it right there, pal.
The funny part is, I don't catch this train anymore going home, but going home from school, it's only a toll booth on the uptown side, not the downtown side, and so some of the kids won't pay, and they'll come through, and then the guy will get on his microphone like, "Hey, young lady in the black jeans and the blue coat." I was like, "Yo, wilding on shorty.
It's the same shit with like when you ain't got your school Metro card and you try to get on the bus and then he try to make this whole fucking I have a dream speech to you.
Like, you gonna let me on? Nah.
So you just sitting there and just standing there just dumb tight.
My nigga,
like,
you're making me late. You're making everybody else late. Like, what's the fucking verdict, bro?
What's the verdict?
Nigga, am I on the bus or am I not on the bus?
Am I making it to America's Next Top Model or no?
Am I being cut? Like, I'll wait for the next bus. Like, just let me know what I'm saying. Let the kids on the bus. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not coming out of your check. It's not that serious. It's really not that serious.
Yeah. Now, if it's a grown ass person like that's a bit much. But even then, we seen when you try to talk back to one of these fucking civilians, them niggas was swinging.
Get caught up.
Shut the fuck up and put your foot on the pedal, my G.
Caught up.
That's why they got the glass protector thing. Remember that
So
guy
many
got
people getting snuffed.
Didn't that guy? I think that guy in Bed-Stuy got stabbed or shot one time.
Shot.
Yeah, because he tried to stop somebody from not paying his fare.
See, just let them niggas go. Like, I don't care.
It's
If
not
I was a
worth
bus
it.
driver, I would not care.
It's not worth it, yo.
Free
It's
fucking
not.
bus. They gonna be like, why you making no money today? I ain't want no problem. That's why I ain't making no money.
I'm trying to live.
I just want to get off.
I don't know. I mean, we briefly touched upon like the fashion thing. Like, niggas don't know how to dress anymore.
It's a select few people in New York, you know, and I guess they
Or
like
the
the same.
niggas fucking all dressed alike. Everybody got fucking Nike Tech. Everybody
Right.
rock the same
I
sort
haven't
of fit.
seen a Nike Tech in a while though.
It's that season, sis.
Oh man.
Everybody, everybody got a Rock Nation hat, but they never met Bleak.
No. Stop.
That's what they said.
Oh
I'm just
my
repeating what the
gosh.
people say.
Oh my
Everybody got a Rock Nation hat. You ain't even meet Hove. You not even rolling up Bleak's weed. Like, take that shit off.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Uh,
not gonna say New York has got bad fashion. Not at all. Because we're known as one of the places that has,
yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying? It's select few. I think it depends on where you live at and who
it's
you're
a select
around. And,
few.
yeah, your crew,
Yeah.
who you roll
But then
with.
it's very few people that really separate themselves from everybody else.
Right.
Like you see a piece on somebody and be like, oh, I've seen this everywhere.
I seen this one outfit.
Like
one time.
when every girl had that fucking green and fake black leather fucking H&M jacket, I hated that shit with a passion.
I never bought it.
Thank you, Jesus.
I never bought that.
I hated that jacket.
First of all, it didn't look warm.
Is anything in H&M warm? Well, we already know how they going.
No.
Lost in 60 mil. So there's that. I don't know. But yeah, the fashion scene is... even Fashion Week is trash. There's a lot of people that, were frequent people that
Yeah, I
work in
used
the
to go- I
industry.
used to go to Fashion
That said
Week
Fashion Week
all
was
the time.
popping, and now that shit is...
I used
filth.
to go all the time. I didn't go out all this year. I had a lot of invites to certain shows and stuff like that. I was like, no, I'll watch it on social media.
I don't know. I've heard it's not worth going to at all.
Not even the parties. The parties don't really pop no more.
Yeah, because I think the issue
party
was they just
scene
started letting just younger and younger people keep coming through, and young people don't know shit.
Yeah.
They don't know shit.
At all. They just there because somebody.
likes.
Yeah, that's
For likes,
it.
Yeah.
No idea what's going on. No idea about cuts.
Nope.
None of that.
Nope. Not
Aesthetic.
at all.
None of that.
Nope. Not at all.
Yep.
There's that.
Yep.
So on Instagram, I asked, like other people and other podcasters, because a lot of the pros and cons we've mentioned in New York City are not just only for New York City. Because I'm
Right.
sure like a lot of other places also have these same sort of, pros and cons. So I'll wrap this up really quick. I won't list them all. I'll probably post it on the page if you guys ain't see it. But here's one from the Eats Cast. They're from Toronto. Shout out to them. Their pros were great food, especially Thai, Japanese, and Indian. Drake, of course. You could walk everywhere if you're prepared for it. Lots of space. It's a dog-loving city, and there's a whole bunch of festivals. But then when it comes to the cons, traffic, parking, nothing stays open for 24 hours, rent and housing costs, construction all the time, the cost of utilities, and basically just the cost of everything in general. So I've heard, and I responded to them. I was like, I heard that Toronto is probably another version of New York City.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know how diverse all the people are over there as well. It's like, it's definitely like another melting pot. Shout out to the Glenn and her podcast. They're from Rayford, North Carolina.
Hey, shout out to NC.
Their pros was you can't do you could do 95 miles per hour on the freeway. There's no cops, but their con is it's like the country, so it's probably way slower.
Real slow.
Yeah, things of that nature. Shout out to Rach the Gem. I believe that's short for Rachel from Melanin Boulevard podcast. She's in Vegas, and the pro is over there is that there's always some kind of party. You don't have to worry about a lot of natural disasters, and then the con is no culture, and that's what Brooklyn's looking like right now.
No culture, really?
They take everything that's for people of color. They've taken. Remember that whole big thing they was trying to get rid of the Biggie mural on the wall? It's like, yo, y'all wildin'. Like, y'all gotta stop.
Like, get out. Get out.
Well, what's the term from Black Panther? Your colonizers gotta relax. Like, y'all gotta relax. Let me do one more. Randomly, Lovers Quarrel show they're originally from New York, but they moved to Maryland and Baltimore County. Shout out to them. The pros in Baltimore, well, they're, I guess, on the outside of Baltimore, so they're 20 minutes away from the city, 45 to 50 minutes from D.C. and National Harbor. You can get a 3-bedroom and 2 full baths for $1,300. Chicken boxes is the best. Shout out to the food. Food is always wonderful. And then the cons are you have to drive everywhere. There's no corner store. There's no bodega sandwiches, and public transportation is trash.
Well, trash is so yeah.
Well, there you have it. You know, it
So,
all comes full circle.
I guess we could just say New York's overrated.
I mean, that
It's
would
a
be
balance. Balance. I guess it depends on the eyes who are.
I guess if you're from New Yorker, there's a balance. There are still some, areas that you could, still frequent, and you'll still get that New York sense of vibe and everything. Like we said with the gentrification, for the cons that there are some positives. Me and Vixon frequent DeKalb Market Hall. They have a wonderful food court down there. There's a whole bunch of like new restaurants and everything that's popping up.
That's what I do enjoy.
I enjoy the new restaurants, the new buildings and new opportunities. But there are the cons of like all this traditions that are going away, or the the classic establishments that have gone away. I remember everybody used to talk about Empire Skate Rink. I remember a lot of older rappers talk about the nightlife scene back in the 90s. A lot of those nightclubs have been shut down as well. So it's good and bad with with New York City. So yeah, I guess it's more of a 50-50 thing. I won't say that New York is overrated or underrated. It's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is that you're trying to get from the city.
Right. New York is good for you if you have a goal.
I think you could say that for about any city. Is like whatever city it is, you make
sure
it.
It's working for you.
Yeah, you gotta make it work for you. So
would you move out of New York?
Me personally, probably not. I would probably move out to a nearby state, so that way I could frequent New York.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Because I still have a lot of family, a lot of friends. I've established, a lot of other businesses, in New York. So it'll be hard for me to just like pick up and leave and go elsewhere. Is that the phone telling us to shut the fuck up and cut off?
No.
So let's wrap this up. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. You could catch the show on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Play,
all them shit.
Stitcher, every fucking app. Make sure you check us on our Instagram page, SI_podcast.
And follow me.
Follow our personal pages as well, Nieema_Simone.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Okay.
Because I use the same name for everything, but I might put a period. No, it's underscore.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for the clarification. Thanks for the clarification.
Just go to the podcast.
Yeah, just go to the podcast page. Yeah, and all of us should.
That way.
And we'd like to announce that we're gonna start doing additional content for the Patreon subscribers. So make sure a little $5 a month ain't gonna hurt nobody. Subscribe to that, and you'll be able to tune into extra content that we'll be releasing on a weekly basis. Okay. So we want to just thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll speak to y'all next week.
Bye.
We are out here. Fuck y'all talking about? Sophisticated ignorance. Are y'all fucking crazy?
That's a fact. Talk
Are y'all
that shit.
crazy? Yo, y'all getting me tight. Like, I be out here trying to be humble. Let's not get fucking crazy. Sophisticated ignorance. All right?